Well, some of the best food can be found on the streets, especially here in New York, and that's also the case in Sicily.
So if you're planning a trip to the toe of Italy's boot, Stephanie Tantillo's new book will help you find the best meals, and she's here now. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm very happy to be here talking about Sicilian street food.
Yeah, and congratulations on your new book
Thanks
as well.
so much.
It's really, it's not a recipe book.
No, it's not.
It's really a great book to pick up if you are heading there, so you kind of know
right.
what to eat.
It's a travelogue book, and it really depicts sort of the vibrancy and the cultural impact of Sicilian food. And I think that it's a really helpful book, especially if you're thinking about going to Sicily or any part of southern Italy, because it's sort of a navigation guide too to what these foods are, how you eat them, where you find them, what they mean when they say certain things, because it's a very fast-paced environment when you're buying street food.
And I mean, you really know Sicily. You were there for college for a little bit. You went for family vacations there when you were smaller.
And then for this book, I kind of like just buckled down. We went for a month and a half and drove all around the island, stopped in every little town, and picked up a bunch of little tricks.
So what's the biggest difference, would you say, between, you know, a street hot dog here in New York and like the food that you find on the streets in Sicily?
I would probably say just variation. I mean, you'll find, you find the same hot dog from Brooklyn to Queens, but in Sicily, you'll find 14 different variations of an arancina, which is basically a fried rice ball. So there's, that's one thing that changes, but also it's just really fresh. It's actual food that you could eat in a restaurant, and you would even associate with high-end restaurants like oysters and fish crudos and things like that, or the couscous that we're going to prepare today, but it's all still street food.
Well, I really enjoyed flipping through your book because I felt like, oh, I like you're there.
Yes,
right?
That's
not just the food, but the other pictures too, so it's really nice.
Yeah. So tell us about, you brought a couple examples. One is, tell us about the salad here.
This is this you'll find a lot of times actually in the morning in some of the markets in Palermo. It's a chilled octopus salad, and it's just octopus that was boiled. Usually it's like water and some kind of wine or something like that, or a stock, cooled, chopped up, and then it's just tossed with a lot of mint, sea salt, and lemon, and Sicilian oil. So there's a couple things you can always depend on finding in Sicilian food, and that's mint and lemon. It's in like everything. And the Sicilian oil is really important because it's very spicy. So you can imagine all those different flavors going on. It's like spicy and lemony and minty, and it's breakfast.
It's breakfast, very nice.
This one I've been staring at since you came in.
That's Sfincione.
Me too. So pizza.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think Sfincione is kind of where the idea of the Sicilian slice came from, like the big square corner slice, because Sfincione it's a really high risen dough, and it's served with just a tomato sauce base, and then it has Caciocavallo cheese, which is a Sicilian cheese. It's kind of strong because it is a sheep smoked cheese, but it's more mild than you would imagine. The strongest flavor on there are the anchovies. A lot of anchovies, Sicilian oregano, and some towns do like a whole topping of breadcrumbs, and some towns just leave it like this, and again, just Sicilian oil.
So what would you say is the best advice if you are going to Italy and you want to eat pizza?
Eat it.
Yeah, eat it, of course, and it's all different. It's different no matter which town you're in.
Yeah, in the South, you'll see anchovies on almost everything on the pizza, so I need to make kind of a face, but it's really just adds a salty dimension to it. So expect there to be a lot of flavor in what you're eating. Palermo is kind of famous for flavor, sort of like punching you in the mouth. It's really intense.
Nice.
That's interesting visual. Now we're going to cook this dish.
Yeah, so this is cool. This is couscous trapanese. So couscous is not something always associated with Italian food. Usually it's pasta. But couscous is a semolina grain, and in trapani, you build it kind of on your own. So you guys can go ahead and build it. Right here we have the base of it, which is the couscous that was cooked in a fish stock. And then right here we have the sauce. This is a little bit of the fish stock. It has tomatoes, garlic, it has mint, it has parsley. And then over there we have shrimp.
So does that go on first?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how much of this?
It's confusing, right? That's why I borrowed a book. So as much as you want. So you can do. I usually do like 3 or 4 spoonfuls just to coat it. It's going to sink to the bottom, but you just want to flavor it. The couscous was cooked in a stock, so it does have some flavor to it already.
And anyone who hasn't had couscous, that is such an easy thing to make, which I love.
Yeah.
Cindy.
I know. I can make couscous. It really is, and it's so delicious.
Okay, I did like
next
4.
The shrimp comes on.
And then the shrimp, and then you can do more sauce. And if you're eating this in a nicer restaurant around the Trapani area, usually it comes with mussels and clams and a lot of different shellfish. But again, if you're eating this on the street, just for the sake of being logical, that's really a disaster. So it's just one kind of fish, some sauce. They give you like 2 cups. You pour it on, you like stir it up, and then you can just eat it right there.
You're so right, because this totally looks like something you would get at a high-end restaurant and not off the street.
Well, we have it in nice bowls, but
we do.
Yep, and then we can top it off with some almonds, or you could also use pistachios. Those are, again, found everywhere in Sicily. Some more mint, just on top, and then a little drizzle of that spicy olive oil.
That looks delicious.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful couscous.
Can I try a little bit of it?
Please.
As Andrea tries it, any tips on the way you cook the shrimp?
I would say just be careful with shrimp. It overcooks very quickly. The minute you start to see it pinking, if you have it in a skillet, flip it, and it'll keep cooking as you take it off. But that's the only tricky part about shrimp, is that it does overcook very quick, and then you are left with something a little bit rubbery.
And you also talk about in your book a lot of the desserts and the ice cream and everything, gelato, everything. Thank you for coming in early. We appreciate it.
Of course.
And congrats on your book. And for more information and links to buy it, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.
And let's get a quick final weather.
Yes, today is going to be pleasant early but chilly. Getting warmer throughout the day, will be in the 50s. Windy and wet overnight. Early tomorrow, still windy, getting much colder throughout the day tomorrow, with a few snow flurries possible.
Thanks, Vanessa. All right, that wraps up CBS 2 News Saturday morning. Have a great weekend.